Antarctica is not merely cold. It is a realm where cold transcends sensation and becomes a predatory entity. The air, often plunging below -70 degrees Celsius, -94 degrees Fahrenheit, doesn't just chill, it attacks. Exposed skin freezes solid in seconds, breath crystallizes instantly into a cloud of ice dust, and metal becomes brittle enough to shatter like glass. This cold is a crushing, pervasive force, an invisible weight that saps heat, will, and ultimately life with ruthless efficiency. It is the dominant, silent killer. The landscape is a study in desolate, brutal grandeur, under the perpetual twilight of the polar night or the blinding, deceptive glare of the summer sun. Mountains aren't merely snow-capped, they are colossal, jagged fangs of black rock sheathed in wind-scoured ice, gleaming like obsidian blades under the weak light. The snow isn't soft powder, it's hard-packed, sculpted by hurricane-force katabatic winds into waves and dunes of glass-like severity, capable of sandblasting flesh from bone. These winds, born on the high polar plateau, scream down with velocities exceeding 200 miles per hour, carrying stinging ice particles that reduce visibility to zero in an instant. A whiteout, a suffocating, disorienting tomb of howling fury. Beneath the deceptive, often featureless snow plains lie hidden jaws, crevasses. These monstrous cracks in the ice sheet, sometimes hundreds of feet deep and concealed by fragile snow bridges, wait to swallow the unwary whole. The ice itself is alive in the most terrifying sense. It groans, cracks, and booms with seismic shifts, the sound resonating deep within your bones, a constant reminder of the continent's unimaginable weight and instability. Glaciers carve city-sized icebergs with thunderous roars, and the entire ice sheet flows inch by relentless inch towards the sea. This movement is slow, inexorable, and indifferent. The silence beneath the wind is profound and unnerving. There are no trees rustling, no insects chirping, no birds calling, only the vast, empty silence of a continent largely devoid of terrestrial life. This sensory deprivation, coupled with the extreme isolation, where the nearest help can be days or even weeks away, and impossible to reach during the long winter months, gnaws at the psyche. It amplifies the groans of the ice, the whistle of the wind, and the terrifying potential of one's own thoughts. The sheer scale is incomprehensible. Horizons vanish into grey nothingness, distances deceive, and the feeling of being an insignificant speck in a frozen, ancient void is overwhelming. This environment is inherently, lethally hostile. It demands respect and preparation, which is why access is strictly forbidden without explicit permits, granted under the Antarctic Treaty System. The reasons are multifaceted and presented officially to protect the pristine and fragile ecosystem from contamination, to preserve the unique scientific value of its untouched environments, especially subglacial lakes like Vostok, isolated for millions of years, and to ensure the safety of individuals as the continent routinely kills the unprepared and the unlucky. Geopolitical stability is also maintained by preventing new territorial claims and resource exploitation conflicts. However, the strangeness of Antarctica whispers of deeper, more unsettling truths that feed the sense of forbidden horror. Extremophiles, microbes, thrive in places thought impossible. Deep within the ice, under crushing pressure in pitch-black subglacial lakes, metabolizing rock and minerals. Places like Blood Falls stain the ice a shocking, viscous red, with iron-rich brine leaking from an ancient, trapped reservoir. Unusual seismic signals, ice quakes, ripple through the bedrock. The atmosphere produces bizarre, optical phenomena, like diamond dust and towering light halos. But the true strangeness, the core of the terror, lies in the unknown preserved within the ice. The Antarctic ice sheet is a time capsule, locking away air bubbles, ash, and biological material for millions of years. Deep ice core drilling retrieves samples from epochs long past. What else might be locked away in that deep, blue, ancient ice? What dormant legacy from a time before humanity, perhaps before complex life as we know it, might be preserved? The horror stems not from myth, but from plausible scientific dread. Imagine extremophiles not just surviving, but evolving in unique, isolated subglacial ecosystems over millions of years. Organisms fundamentally alien to our biosphere, possessing biochemistry or properties we cannot anticipate. Pathogens unknown to modern immune systems. Life forms that don't just endure the cold, but utilize it, manipulate its structure, or feed on its energy differentials.
The terrifying possibility is that deep drilling, reckless exploration, or the accelerating melt caused by global warming could inadvertently breach a seal holding such entities. Entities that could be parasitic, toxic, or carriers of genetic information disastrous to surface ecosystems. The fear is of awakening not a mythical monster, but a biological or microbial relic with unforeseen, potentially catastrophic consequences. The ice isn't just a preserver, it's a prison wall, and the immense pressure, the darkness, and the cold are its bars. The strict permits, the restricted zones, the level 10 biosecurity warnings on forgotten stations, they aren't just bureaucracy, they are a global quarantine protocol. Antarctica is forbidden not just because it is deadly to humans, but because humanity, in its carelessness or curiosity, might unleash something else that the ice has kept contained for eons. The silence isn't empty. It's the quiet of a vast frozen lock. And the groaning ice is the sound of that lock straining.